Hi there, business owner. Are you looking to improve your business knowledge? Do you want to see behind the scenes of successful businesses? And more importantly, are you looking to build a better business in just 15 minutes each week? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the 3Bs podcast. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the 3Bs podcast, your go-to show for all things business and beyond. As always, I'm your host Stephanie. In today's episode, we're diving into loyalty and retention programs. Now, I did talk about these at the end of the last week's episode, but I wanted to go into it in a lot more detail because there's a lot more value that I thought I could bring for business owners when they are thinking about whether they need a loyalty or retention program or whether they're right for them. Loyalty and reward programs are designed to reward repeat customers and encourage long-term relationships. So not every thing in business will suit your business type, and loyalty and retention programs are one of those things that I feel like a lot of businesses feel like they should have, and they're not always suitable. So if you're a business who your service or product you provide is kind of a one-off thing, like a one-off service or a one-off product that they would buy once, then a loyalty program or a customer retention program probably isn't going to be for you. So in this week's episode, we're going to explore who should use them, the types of businesses that should probably avoid them, and the pros and cons of both. Plus, we'll take a closer look at customer retention, like what customer retention actually means, why it's important in certain types of businesses, and which types of businesses will benefit the most. So let's get into this week's episode. So let's get into what customer retention is and why it's important to businesses and business owners alike. So customer retention is the ability a business has to keep its customers over a specified period of time. Depending on the type of business you have, your customer retention rate will be measured over a different period. So for example, if you ran a monthly subscription service, you would want to look at your customer retention over a 6 or a 12-month period to see if you are still getting the same repeat custom, they're buying your monthly subscription box over that period of time. Or maybe you want to look at the average number of months that a customer would keep purchasing the subscription box for before they cancel, or the subscription service. If you think of things like Netflix and Sky subscriptions, most people would buy them as a subscription and keep them long term, but some people would take them out for a couple of months for a specific TV show or a specific series that is only visible on that particular channel. So it's about maintaining a long-term relationship with your customers and encouraging repeat business when we talk about customer retention. But that long-term period will vary depending on the type of business that you have. The reason customer retention is important to business owners: acquiring a new customer, on average, costs 5 times more than retaining existing ones. Now, what that means is if you are a business who repeat custom is a good thing for you, then going to find those new customers are going to cost you a lot more money. It's also worth noting that if you are a one-off service, the general rule of thumb is to find a new customer, it costs 5 times as more than retaining existing ones. Also, higher profit margins. So existing customers are likely to spend more and buy more frequently because they already know you, they already like you and what you do, and they already trust you. So whether you're product-based or service-based, the experience the customers receive, the end result, whether that's the product that they purchase or the service they've received, if they've already had that and they already understand that and expect good things, they're more likely to buy with you and more likely to buy other things because they trust, know and like you, and know or like you, your business or your branding or however you choose to position yourself within the market. Thirdly, word of mouth marketing. There's a phrase that kicks around that says, if a person has a good experience, they will go and tell one person, and if a person has a bad experience, they'll go and tell 10 people. Now, as a business owner, those figures are pretty scary. So if a customer has had a good experience, then they're going to go and tell that one person, and that one person is going to go and tell others. And that is where customer retention works, even if you are a one-off service or a one-off product-based business. Maybe it's funeral plans. So if you are a business who sells funeral plans, somebody's only ever going to buy one, but they're going to tell their friends, or they're going to tell their partner, or they're going to tell their family members. And that then encourages them to purchase because the customer that's recommending them already knows, likes and trusts you, and the person that's recommending you's opinion is valid to the person that they already know. And also stable revenue. So this is quite prevalent with these subscription boxes and the subscription kind of method and pricing methodology for some businesses. That consistent repeat business provides a predictable and stable revenue stream. Yes, some people will naturally cancel their subscription to things. People will naturally no longer need the product or service you're providing. But if you're providing something regularly, consistently, and the client's signed up for 6 or 12 months, you know that cash flow is going to come in every month for those 6 or 12 months, which can help you make more informed financial decisions and more informed business decisions, which will help you succeed your goals much quicker. So the types of businesses that really benefit from customer retention scheme and monitoring that customer retention so they fully understand the data, how many months, how many times they rebuy, etc., are the subscription-based services. Thinking of Netflix or Spotify for a software kind of business, but also subscription-based products, so Gusto and HelloFresh and the meal delivery boxes, or subscription boxes, razor blades, cat food. All these things can now be delivered in boxes on a subscription method, so you don't have to think about it from a consumer's point of view, which is a benefit, and the business then has all the benefits of customer retention. But not just that, SaaS, so software as a service businesses, also quite often run on a retention or a loyalty program. So whether that's Xero, the accounting software that we use, whether that's Apron for the invoice capture, it's a product you're going to have for a long time, so you're going to be paying for it over and over and over again, whether that's monthly, annually, however you choose to pay. It's something that's going to keep being paid, and you're not likely to switch from that software to a different software because of the admin that involves. So if you have a SaaS business, then customer retention is incredibly important and can really benefit you by monitoring it well. And retail businesses, surprisingly, both online and brick and mortar stores benefit from loyalty. So whether that's Costa Coffee where you buy 8 and get 1 free, I think it's 9 now, or it's Starbucks where you collect stars, there's many different ways to have a loyalty program or a customer retention program in there, and those loyalty cards act as a good reminder to consumers to come back and repeat buy from you, so that they can add up the stars or the stamps, whatever it is they need to achieve that free thing or that discount at the end of it. As I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, some business types really do not suit that customer retention or loyalty program. Now, customer retention data will still be there, but actually your time will be better spent looking at other analytics and KPIs than customer retention in some types of businesses. Now, some of them are high ticket, low frequency purchases. So by that I mean businesses that sell high ticket items, so at a higher price point or something quite luxurious that customers don't purchase regularly. So if you think of a car, it doesn't even have to be a high-end or a luxury car. Just purchasing a car or a house, it's not something people buy regularly. It's not something people are going to buy more than one of in most cases in a number of years. So offering loyalty or retention to those types of clients is not going to be very beneficial. They'll still exist and you can still do them, but you're obviously not going to get as good results from those types of businesses. Highly specialised or niche services are another ones where loyalty and retention programs are maybe not the best. So businesses that offer very specialised services that either have limited competition or cater to a very specific need, may be too small to really warrant that loyalty program. So the customer base, the ideal client base, may be really quite small. Also, these services often rely on reputation and expertise rather than loyalty. So if you are looking for a very specific type of beauty therapist that carries out a beauty treatment that very few people carry out in your area, then the loyalty program doesn't set you apart from your competition because there isn't very many, so you don't have that benefit. And also the customer base locally for you is going to be really small. So increasing that, a percentage of your customer base having a loyalty reward is not going to encourage more people to come to you because your ideal client base is already quite small. I think in those sorts of cases, so for example, bespoke consultancy firms or things that are very niche and small targeted, rather than monitoring customer retention and having a loyalty program of collecting stamps, referral programs are a really good alternative for those types of businesses. So that can be a discount from their next treatment if they're a beauty salon, if they refer a friend who books with you. That works well for consultancy firms as well. Specifically in the B2B or the business to business environment, referrals and word of mouth from other respected business owners is actually better than some mainstream marketing techniques out there. So have a look if you are a smaller business or if you're incredibly niche. So in the bookkeeping and accountancy industry, which is obviously where my practice is, a lot of the time we're told to niche down, niche down, niche down, niche down. Pick a niche, whether that's construction firms, whether that's hairdressers, pick a niche or a location niche. It doesn't have to be an industry niche, but because it's so small, the loyalty programs, there's only going to be so many hairdressers or beauty therapists or construction workers and companies within that target area, and having a referral program to their competitors, again, may not be the best option. So look at all the pros and cons of the loyalty programs, the referral programs, and the retention programs, and see where your time and money and investment is best spent to build a better business. So let's quickly whiz through some of the pros and cons of loyalty and retention programs as a whole and see what fits right for you as a business owner and what's right for your business type. So some of the pros are increased customer retention, so that building that long-term relationship and ensuring that steady revenue, increasing those customer retention and having more of them that buy from you is obviously going to increase your sales and your bottom line. Higher customer lifetime value is a similar thing in that if you have customers that keep coming back to you, if you have a good loyalty or retention scheme in place, they are likely to spend more with you over a lifetime as opposed to not having a loyalty or retention program in that keeps them coming back. And data collection and insights. By having a loyalty program, a lot of the times, if you think of Tesco and the club card, they can see exactly what you're purchasing, so they know what's popular, what's not popular, and they can use that data and insight to look at where to target their marketing, where to put their message in, what type of products they want to get into supermarkets because they sell well. And that data collection and insight that you can have a business owner if you have a loyalty program or a retention program can be really beneficial for when making business decisions. Some of the cons of these programs are the cost of implementation and maintenance. So a big thing is the sustainability cost of it. So if you're having a physical card that is being stamped for a loyalty scheme, then obviously there's a monetary cost, but also a sustainability cost in having all of those trees made into the cards that you can stamp. Also digital often looks the more sustainable option, but you've still got that carbon footprint, you've still got that information being held somewhere, which is still producing wastage, whether that's internet wastage or physical wastage in a card form. And whenever a loyalty program or retention scheme is set up, there is going to be a cost involved in that, whether that's a time cost or a financial cost. You're going to have to look at the terms and conditions. You may need to speak to a lawyer to get those in place for you. If you're a smaller business or you're a sole trader or a solopreneur, that extra cost might be just too much to be viable to start off with. Potential for abuse is another con, and unfortunately that's just the way things go in life. Customers might try to game the system, might try to find little loopholes so that you can get the free thing or the discount even quicker. They may have multiple companies and use that referral scheme to get a discount from the second company that they own if you're not careful and don't review the terms and conditions and check who is actually using these loyalty and retention programs. And the dilution of brand value. So this is something that I don't talk about a lot. So if you're offering a discount or a free product, then sometimes that can actually reduce the perceived value of that product or service. So what that can mean is if you are selling a high-end hairdryer and it's £500, but if you collect so many points you get it for £200, actually to some customers and potential customers that product is going to look like it's a £200 product, and therefore when you go to market that at its actual retail price of £500, potential consumers and consumers that maybe have already purchased it at full price can be disgruntled and unhappy, and that can actually lead to the brand looking less high end. It can make everything look less authentic and less real, and people can start to doubt the brand and the company themselves. So, to sum up, loyalty and retention programs can be incredibly effective for the right business, offering benefits like increased customer retention, a higher lifetime value, and valuable customer data and insights to help you make more informed decisions as a business owner. However, not every type of business these are beneficial for, and there's potential drawbacks such as high costs and high investment in time in implementing them and maintaining these retention programs, the risk of brand dilution, and the chance of the system being abused and customers. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the 3Bs podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Please connect with us on social media. Like, rate and review wherever you are listening to this podcast so that I can help more business owners build a better business. See you next week.